Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. I've been thinking a lot about the upcoming Harry Potter reboot, and I made a list of the top 10 moments to look forward to in the new show. I'll name scenes that were in the original films as well as scenes we only know from the books, since the reboot has a lot more capacities to incorporate the more detailed storyline of the novels. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, starting from the bottom. Number 10 on my list is Dumbledore annoying the Dursleys. In the beginning of the Half-Blood Prince book, Dumbledore visits Harry at the Dursleys to accompany him to the Burrow, but he lingers at number 4 Privet Drive to have a chat with the inhabitants. He conjures drinks for everyone, but of course the Dursleys are too skeptical of magic to drink them, so Dumbledore bewitched the glasses so that they kept hitting Vernon, Petunia and Dudley around the head, while having a perfectly chill conversation with Harry, and to me imagining this scene is just so funny. I really hope they include it in the reboot. Rank number 9 goes to Peeves chasing Umbridge. People who only watch the films probably don't even know about Peeves the Poltergeist at all. He causes mayhem wherever he goes, and on one instance in the end of the Order of the Phoenix book, he chases a departing Umbridge who has just been sacked around the Hogwarts grounds while hitting her with a walking stick he borrowed from Professor McGonagall. Number 8 is made by Hagrid going berserk in the Order of the Phoenix. When Umbridge, accompanied by several ministry officials, walks over to Hagrid's hut to fire him from his teaching post, the situation quickly escalates and the ministry wizards try stunning Hagrid, which doesn't work because of his giant skin. When McGonagall hurries to stand by Hagrid, she's hit with 4 stunning spells, knocking her out cold. This makes Hagrid so furious that he starts throwing his attackers around as if they were pillows, knocking some of them out before fleeing their castle. Number 7 on my list is Harry and Ginny's real first kiss. Most Harry Potter fans will agree that Harry and Ginny's romantic interactions in the films were cringeworthy as hell. In the books, however, they have their first kiss in the common room after winning the Quidditch Cup with the whole of Gryffindor house watching. The situation has extremely high stakes because Harry has had an inner battle for most of the year because he doesn't want to risk his friendship with Ron by asking out his younger sister. So when they stop kissing, Harry immediately looks at Ron, who communicates that he's okay with them dating. This moment just feels incredibly rewarding. On spot number 6 we have a moment that I've already covered on this channel, but it's too good not to include. I'm talking about the time after a Gryffindor vs Slytherin Quidditch match in the Order of the Phoenix book, when Malfoy starts insulting the Weasley family and Harry's parents, which leads to Harry and George beating him up really bad. I just love how Malfoy finally got a little of what he deserves. Number 5 is the brief fight between McGonagall and Snape shortly before the Battle of Hogwarts in the Deathly Hallows. Of course, Snape holds back because he doesn't want to hurt McGonagall, but what I enjoyed about the scene is the way it highlights Minerva's strength of character. She doesn't hesitate a second to fight for what she believes is right, which makes her a well-deserved head of Gryffindor House. The same goes for a scene shortly after Snape's flight, when McGonagall threatens to kill Slughorn if he and thereby Slytherin House decided to turn against the school. Another reoccurring yet very worthy moment marks spot number 4. I'm talking about the scene in the Deathly Hallows book before the Battle of Hogwarts starts, when Harry watches McGonagall argue with Amicus Carrow in the Ravenclaw common room while hiding under his invisibility cloak. When Carrow spits at McGonagall, Harry snaps and hits Carrow with the Cruciatus Curse. What I love about this scene, beside the revenge for McGonagall, is that it shows how important she actually is to Harry. Their relationship is often a stiff one, but at times like this you can see just how much respect they actually have for each other, which is just heartwarming. My number 3 of the best Harry Potter moments is the fight between Dumbledore and Voldemort towards the ending of the 5th installment. It was stunning to see this level of power visualized on screen in the Order of the Phoenix film, but what film fans won't know is that in the book Dumbledore was easily dominating a struggling Voldemort. The chapter is actually titled The Only One He Ever Feared, which relates to Voldemort's fear of Dumbledore, and in the book we see exactly why this fear is justified. On spot number 2 we have one of, if not the most iconic scene in all of Harry Potter. I'm referring of course to Snape's redemption, which peaks in his most quoted line, "Always." People who only watch the film will not fully understand the magnitude of this scene though, since the films never explain what Snape's Patronus has got to do with all of this. In the Half-Blood Prince book, we learn that someone's Patronus can change into that of another person if that someone is deeply in love with said person. This not only happened to Snape, who was in love with Lily, his Patronus actually stayed this way for all the years following Lily's death, and this testament of Snape's feelings is what moves Dumbledore to tears. And finally we have arrived at my favorite Harry Potter moment of all time. Sadly, this scene never made it into the films, so film-only fans will actually be surprised by this. Right before the final battle between Harry and Voldemort, which ends in Voldemort's death, the two rivals share one last dialogue, in which Harry explains to Voldemort how he was fooled by Snape, by Dumbledore, by the Elder Wand and by Harry himself. Harry taunts Voldemort by making it plain how much he doesn't actually understand. He explains that Voldemort actually made the same mistake of underestimating the power of love, again by allowing Harry to make a loving sacrifice just like his mother. Harry further annoys Voldemort by calling him Tom throughout the whole conversation, the name that Voldemort so despises. And he actually ends by advising Voldemort to try and have some remorse, because that is the only thing that could potentially save him from an eternal existence in limbo. Harry disrespecting Voldemort in this way is just an absolute savage move, and shows just how much he has actually learned from Dumbledore. This moment really makes you understand why Harry is the one worthy of defeating the Dark Lord. And that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me all about your opinions in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time on Percival. Keep it magic.